What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video drilling episode. Holy shit. Big W's, two big W's in the last 12 plus 3 plus 5, actually. 17 in the last 17 hours. Two big W's, all right? So let's start with the first one, which was yesterday. Driving lesson, right? First driving lesson. Literally the only... Okay, no, I'm gonna say this later. But he was like, do you have any experience driving? I was like, nope, never driven. He's like, I don't even know what he asked me. I was like, nope, never, nothing. Literally the only thing I ever drove was like a golf cart when I was like 13 or something in Italy. Drove that a little bit. I said, I'm like, this is not me saying it to you. This is me saying it to the guy. I was like, I drove like a golf cart once or twice when I was 13. And other than that, just Mario Kart, really. So literally no driving experience. And it was, obviously I'm trying to learn manual because why would I pay lessons for automatic? Like, come on, I'm not stupid. But anyway, so we were doing that, and obviously at first I was like, "Ooh, shit!" So first of all, we met in town, and then we drove here. We were getting to know each other, kind of small talking a little bit, and then we got here. He showed me once what he wants me to do, or not once. He showed me a couple of times what he wants me to do. We swapped seats, blah blah blah. Focused a little bit on that. Like I think so we met up at 7, drove here, and the demonstration initially took like 45 minutes. So like at 7:45 is when I started to be the actual driver. And obviously at first was kind of like, well, I mean, that's obvious. Whenever you start something new, you're going to be relatively shit at it. But fairly quickly, because I'm a quick learner, fairly quickly I managed to do just fine. And then there was like a few things we practiced even, and then he was like, okay, wow, you're like doing good. And then at one point there was like a really narrow, honestly, I was kind of like, as I was driving, I was like, there's one thing that I'm really surprised about was like the trust he put in me, I guess. I don't know if it's normal, but essentially there was a really, really tight road, and we drove, and yeah, we drove in there, and I was like, oh, this is already like interesting that he just trusts me like that normally, to do this. But then also after we did a second round of the I guess task that I was the demonstration that I was supposed to recreate, then as we were about to drive in there, suddenly like 4 cars and bikes and whatever drove in there. So it was going to be really tight and really cluttered, even more than it already was. And he's like, oh, do you want to go in there, or should we not do it? I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not? Because like practice, why not? And he's like, oh, I was just trying to test if you get stressed, how you handle stressful situations. You're just a chill guy, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm just a chill guy. That was kind of silly. Apart from that, at the end of the lesson, because it was supposed to be only like here around like this certain area doing these very things that we were practicing. So like clutch control, hill starting, and the basics. And at one point he was like, all right, you are doing much better than like expected. You're doing much better than people usually do. So let's go for a drive. So we went for a drive at like the thing is here the max speed limit is 50, which kind of sucks. I'm from Germany. Autobahn, there is no fucking speed limit. So I'm used to higher speed. Higher speed. So the speed limit being 50 is kind of like funky to me. But anyways, so yeah, we went there, and he was like, yeah, drive like when I was getting to like a pace of 40, a pace? No, the speed of 40, I guess, 40 kilometers an hour. He was like, yo, slow down. And I'm just chilling, because it was like, I don't know, it was so nice to actually drive. And especially the breeze, like looking out onto the ocean and shit. It was just such a vibe and so cool. Um, Relatively clear road. We were in like the learners. They had like the driving school shit on top of the car, so people were like even like more careful around me, obviously. But I was just chilling, which was really cool. It was a little bit of a shame that he tells me to slow down, even though I wasn't yet at the speed limit. But I guess first time driving, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, but that was cool. And then drove myself back here, all cool. And he was like, I'm gonna message you sometime next week. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm gonna message you some times where I'm free, and you tell me which one's best for you for next week. And then we do the second lesson because I got 5 of these 2-hour lessons. He said, and he's also a really cool guy, I could tell. And also then towards the end, he was like, I'm not trying to sell you more courses or whatever. I'm just saying, like, on average, people tend to need 20 to 25 hours to be confident to take the practical exam. The practical exam. So right now you got like 10 lessons. Obviously you should look at it yourself. Like, if you feel confident, go for it. But if you want more, like, I'll be here, you know what I mean? So I appreciate the honesty, that's for sure. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I was also thinking like 10 lessons is honestly not that much. Maybe I'll get another 10 lessons. I need to ask my uncle to pay for that shit. But you know, so that's big W number one. Like, first driving lesson was like super cool. My brother also said, um, the first time he had a driving lesson, his driving instructor asked, like, be honest, how many times did you drive like illegally? You know, uh, which is kind of funny. Maybe I really do wonder if like, we played a lot of Mario Kart and we're both highly competitive. So I do wonder if that played a role. I mean, probably not a lot, but also I literally have no other. Maybe driving is just that easy. I don't know. I actually don't know. Apart from that, yeah, nothing big. I mean, I slept a lot today, but I don't know if I slept that well, to be honest. But today, this morning again, I woke up. I made my pancake mixture and went for a sunrise walk. Oh, cool! That was so cool. I do enjoy like sunrise. I think I actually enjoy sunrise more than sunset because I don't know, it's such a cool feeling to start the day with the sun or to watch the sunrise. I've watched the sunrise and I've watched it go down, type shit, again and again. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was fire, honestly. I caught my girlfriend while I was watching the sun to wake her up for work. Uh, that was chill. That was a chill morning. Got home, made pancakes, ate pancakes, and then kind of then I had big W number two, which was just had a feedback call with my manager. All right, because last week of internship, blah blah blah, and last week we were supposed to fill out the Google form, and honestly, when I filled that out, I'm like, this is such like absolute bullshit, and it's just pure formalities. Like, the questions are like so, it's literally just a thing for the company to be like, okay, blah, blah, how would you rate yourself? And for her, it's, I guess, how would you rate the interns? Da da da. It's literally just formalities, and the call was kind of like more important, I guess, more. Well, to me, it was more valuable than just some Google form. You know what I mean? But basically, we got on this call, and she said, like, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Just casual small talk. And then she's like, all right, so, I mean, the Google form I completed, you'll receive it soon probably. It literally just filled in strongly agree with everything because, like, you did really well. I mean, like, it didn't even feel like you were an intern. It felt more like you were a coworker, like you helped so much, and you did like such good work. Like you helped so much, and the work you did was also really well done. So like I'm amazed. I mean, I'm so happy and so grateful that you were able to help us like this, blah blah blah. And then something really like cool. She said something really cool, which I also said I'm really grateful for, and it's like so good and blah blah blah. She's like, oh shit, wait, I unplugged my on accident. And she's like, yeah, like, the fuck is wrong with this cable? Why isn't it? Why is it constantly? Wait a second, me. You hear this? No, no, there's no sound. What the fuck? Oh, there it was. And now it's gone. But the fuck? I don't understand this cable. Well, anyways, so she said, like, what did she say? She said something really cool. Yeah, exactly. She was like, "Yo, I get on. I'll talk to HR if we can write you a reference letter. Maybe also get a signature from like a higher up. Like a international head of sales, because I was working as CCG, client coverage group, kind of sales area. Although I did help in multiple departments, but yeah, she's like, I'll try to get even a higher up signature. And if they say for some reason we can't write you a reference letter, then I'll just personally write you one. And like, if you want to come back work here for Zapo Bank, like I would try my best to help you. Or if you ever have another company that you want to work with, and you see like that I follow them or like I'm connected with someone, just tell me. I will introduce you, and you also got my number. So like, if there's anything you need, literally just let me know. Whatever, text me, call me, whatever. And I was like, damn, you know what I mean. That's a great opportunity. That's a great offer. I mean, as I said, I'm really grateful for that, and yeah, that's amazing. So like, I'm glad I was able to, like, also didn't really like. I don't see myself as an intern in the sense that I do like the typical intern work, which is kind of like I'm just here for the experience and um I don't know, just give me whatever work, blah blah blah, and I will try my best. Like, yes, all these things are true. I am here for the experience. I am here for. I will try my best and blah blah blah. But like, I also know very well that I can do work at a high quality because I have high standards for myself, and I have high standards. And because I have high standards for myself, I also have high standards, like, I guess, in general and for other people. But like, for myself, that's the important part, I guess, because like it shows that like I don't want to just give in, turn in hand in any work. And like, once the internship's done, I'm gonna be like, oh, thanks for the experience, never see you again. But it's more like the purpose of an internship, in my opinion, is like, or for me at least, was like to get my foot in the door, essentially. You know what I mean? To So initially I wanted it to be like the internship. I wanted it to be an opportunity for the company to see my value, to see that I'm actually like, that they can actually employ me, even if just part time for now, because I'm still a student. but that they can employ me because I wanted some form of money and I didn't want it through the the usual student job route, which is like restaurants, bars, or grocery stores, right? It's not my that's not my type of work. So I do want to rack my brains and I do want to work online because it's simply maybe I just want to, you know what I mean? So it's like that was the initial goal, I guess, of the internship to show people that to show these people who I work for that I'm actually like that they should very much so employ me. But then I found out that they don't that like this company doesn't really like they hire graduates and while if there's a position I can apply for it, but also they have like obviously there is a clear distinction between like I can apply for full-time positions but only like as long as I do my work it doesn't matter how much time I spend doing it, right? But um I think legally I cannot work full-time, number one, and number two because I'm a student here, and number two is like if you look at it as an employer, are you gonna hire the student who yes he worked for you and yes people were like amazed, or are you gonna hire the person who like has nothing to do, has literally all day? Well, technically speaking, I would hire the student who produces definitely good results, but also you don't know the like maybe there's someone with a better experience history, yeah, with better history than me because like technically this was my first experience in this field. So what I'm trying to say is as an employer I don't think I would hire the student, partially because yeah because student and again primarily I don't think I legally can work full-time. Like even if I would apply for a full-time work I don't think that would be possible. I think I can only apply for like part-time jobs to a certain amount of hours. So yeah, because technically I study full-time, but full-time study what my full-time study looks like is actually like half like part-time classes and part-time self-study, right? Like that's honestly the beauty of it because holy fuck, I mean honestly, if I look at it, all right, my my classes, all right, I've if I think about it I've had what shit, I can't tell you. Honestly, I cannot tell you. I've had three different classes each semester. That's what I can tell you. But as for the amount, I think like two classes were like like I've had I think 12 hours of classes a week or 60. Fuck, I don't remember. 12 or 16, one of the two. Wait. So let's say 145 plus 145 is 330 times 2 is 7. And then the other had double 14. No, that makes no sense. Not 21, definitely not 21. Oh, it wasn't double, it was two longer lessons. So it was two, I think, 3 hour lessons and 1.5 hour lesson. I think it was like 16 hours. So I've had 16 hours of classes in a week. How many hours does a week even have? Or how many? Shit. But essentially, they want us to study twice, at least twice, the amount on our own than we spent in classes. So if I study like 16 hours, if I have 16 hours of classes worth of classes, then I gotta study according to them or recommendation 32 hours a week on my own, and which makes up a total of 48 hours of just uni per week. And that obviously, I guess, I'm not sure. It doesn't include the assignments that we sometimes get or whatever. I'm not sure. But that's like technicality, right? Now, in reality, in the last year, I personally, maybe there was like one class a semester where I was kind of like, yeah, but like one class a semester where it was kind of like not like, well, that was a little bit more difficult, I guess, than the others for me personally. Obviously, that changes depending on each person, but let's say one class per semester. So two classes were completely fine. I basically did the only time would spend on those classes was for assignments or studying for finals. And the one class where I had more difficulty, then I would invest a little bit of time in it, but also not a lot. So technically speaking, like the last year was absolutely time-wise such a bargain for me because I like genuinely I would I didn't spend a lot of time on studies. Like I spent a lot of time, like more time than I wanted to on classes, because I feel like this is like a whole other topic, but like this is like a whole other topic, but like uni classes absolutely pointless for me personally. Pointless. Like sometimes good, actually valid. Like some lecturers actually can explain really well, and their explanation helps, and they also offer a lot of examples and whatever in person that you would not get from the slides alone. But there is always at least one class each semester where it's like, why am I spending 3 hours of my time just sitting here listening to you either one, read from the slides, or two, make sure the slowest student understands, and he doesn't understand shit because he doesn't pay attention, and you keeping up with this, like, why am I here? I understood this topic. I would go to the next topic. Like, genuinely, I'm so like I'm not even jealous. Jealous is not the right word, but I wish I also had that. Is that jealousy? I feel like jealousy is kind of more like, that person doesn't deserve it. I deserve it, but that's not true. I think I'm happy for my friend to have this opportunity, and I want it for myself. Is that jealousy? I don't know, but I want it for myself as well, without taking his away. I want the opportunity to for people to not care how many classes I attend, because we have an attendance requirement. As long as I pass the exam, why the fuck does it matter how many classes I attended? Just so you can take the credit, or what? Like, honestly, what is this bullshit? Give me the all the materials. Give me, I'm not trying to be like, that's gonna sound really cocky, but give me 2 weeks. But I'll pass the exams. Not gonna lie, like, okay, but let's say give me a month. Let's cut the time in a third. Instead of 3 months of study and then final exams, let's do 1 month of pure self study. I get all the materials because they only upload them week by week. So week one, like physically 3 months have to pass for you to even have access to all the data, which is absolute bullshit. Just give me all the fucking data. I will self study so fucking well, so efficiently. I will self study when I want to, not when I have to also, and I will pass the fucking exams. But that's an entirely different, like, I understand that partially, especially in such a small uni. It's like, because, as a teacher, it feels kind of shit if you teach a class, if you and there's no one there. It does feel kind of shit. Like, I do understand that. But also, I'm paying the money. I'm paying the money. So what is this not like? I'm the customer, you know what I mean? Kind of like, let me let me let me let me like, I don't understand this attendance thing at all in the slightest. Like, what the fuck? It's so nonsensical. It's so brain dead to me. Not gonna, the same way that it's so brain dead to me. Like, when an employer cares about the hours you work. Like I've once seen this. Like, I mean, for example, why do you care if I work 9 to 5, like the whole time? Why is that more important to you than if I were to work like whenever during the day, say 6 to 9, and I take a break, I don't know, or let's say 5 to 8, right? 3 hours. Then I bring my kids to school. Then I go to the gym. Then I work a couple of hours more. Then I have lunch with my wife, and then a couple of more hours of work, and then I don't know, kids time. Or say I work, I don't know, even just why do you care about the amount of hours I work as long as I get the thing done? You know what I'm like? I don't understand this, which is why I'm so grateful that some companies are exists or starting to wake up to this absolute nonsense. Like, it's just bullshit. And like so many people. I know this from first hand experience. I also know this from like people, like not just people that I know, but also like online. You can see people like the amount of times I've heard, especially from people that they work in their hourly wage, minimum wage job, and they literally just sit there and scroll on social media sometimes just to pass the time because they don't want to get new tasks and whatever, and they just want time to pass. And they get paid for that. Like, what is that bullshit, bro? I don't care. I would work. I bet you I will work 3 hours and get more shit done than this guy who works 8 hours, but his attitude is complete shit. Out of those 8 hours, how much does he realistically work? He comes in, talks to people, I don't know. Then he works for like half an hour, but not even in a flow like state, but really unconcentrated because his phone keeps on buzzing or he keeps on getting emails, and he like effectively does barely any work. And then he has the lunch, and then he talks to more people and more distractions. I bet you in 3 hours I would get more than someone with that mentality in 8 hours does. Like, it's absolute bullshit. Don't pay me for the fucking hour. Pay me for the work, man. So ridiculous. That's also why I like the sales department so much. Like, genuinely, probably this is a cocky belief, but I don't fucking care. Like, I would so gladly work for someone where they literally pay me zero base salary and purely based on contribution or purely based on the work that I do. Like sales is the simplest way to describe this. Imagine, say, a client, we got a product worth 1,000, and say I get, I don't even know how much commission do you usually get for bringing in a new client. That's actually a good question. Okay, let's just do with 50%. That's to make the math. Okay, to make it math work. So I get 50%. All right. So for each new customer worth 1,000, I get 500. Simple as that. Okay, and then so that means, okay, that's probably a lot, but let's say that's the case. So I have to, like, my salary purely depends on the value I bring each month. And yes, there are gonna be good months, and yes, there are gonna be bad months, but like, that's up to me, you know what I mean? I mean, in the end, I am the one trying to survive. I am the one who needs the money. So I have proper motivation to work. But in this system where yes, you have some motivation to work. Do you have enough motivation to work, not to lose your job? But do you have enough motivation, like the same amount of motivation as someone whose literal survival depends on this shit? Depends on the work he does? Like, I doubt it. I'm gonna be honest, I doubt it. So yeah, just I have a lot of problems with the systems in this world. It's so stupid. Like, people, open your fucking eyes. Honestly, there's a really like interesting to me. One friend, he started working in a grocery store, and we were talking about some shit, and he's like, just go to a grocery store, come work with me. And I'm like, no, I'm past that. I don't want to do like this brainless work, and I want to actually use my fucking brain. And he's like, oh, well, I literally want this brainless work. I don't want to think. I don't want. And I'm like, whoa, okay, different species of human I've found. So yeah, that's actually interesting. Like, you don't want to like that's actually interesting to me, because like then again it makes me wonder why don't you want to use your brain? And that's actually something I might try to find out. I'd probably forget it after I post this video, but in case I remember, or actually someone write a comment, please, if you're still watching. Someone write a comment, be like, hey, did you figure out why some people want to use their brains, some people don't? Actually, some answer to this is already forming in my mind. Wait a minute, I just felt the thought form. Yeah. It was like, why don't some people well, using your brain is hard. That's the easy answer. That's the simplest answer. That's the answer that formed in my mind. Using your brain is hard. I mean, look at everything. People don't want to use their brains. People don't even like, we have all this comfort, and I mean, people don't even want to be bored because it's hard, because you use your brain. Most people cannot even be in silence, you know what I mean? So I can't even sit in silence because it's hard to sit in silence. It's uncomfortable to sit with your own thoughts, especially if you've made poor decisions for most of your life. Poor decisions in the sense of poor decisions for yourself, for your growth, whatever, for your self-worth, self-confidence, all that. When there's just a bunch of decisions piled up that have led you to want to avoid it, that then obviously it makes sense that you're uncomfortable, but you have to face it. Because if you don't face it, nothing will change. It will only get worse. It won't get better. Once you face it and once you've dealt with that, from then on you can work up. But yeah, damn, that was a really good video journaling episode. I'm gonna be honest. That was really good. Proud of myself for that one. Big W's! I've been thinking about what to call this video as I was talking, actually. I love the fact that thoughts are so fucking quick. Like, if you think about it, our thinking speed is insane. Anyways, that's just a side thought. So I've been thinking of what to call this video. I'm probably going to call it like two big W's, plus, and the problem with certain systems, something like that. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'll think about this more. I might just take this as a title. So yeah, I should hear back from my manager within like half an hour, I presume. And then she can give me more work, because I was like, hey, I want more work. I know I'm only here for 2.5 more days, like till Friday. Technically speaking, 3, because it's only noon. So, but 2 more days. So I understand, like, I cannot start working on like big tasks that are supposed to take all week or whatever. But whatever you have at this point, just throw it my way, because it's better than not doing anything. So yeah. See you in the next one.